Hi, everybody. It's Debbie from Spooky Things. Hope everybody is doing well out there. We have a fabulous guest tonight. She's my roommate on Tuesday nights on the Webb Broadcasting Network. I can't think of a better roommate. I'd like everybody to say hello to Mercedes Lucky Benedict. Hi, Mercedes.
Hi. Well, that's so cute. We're roommates. I like
We
that.
are. We're roomies.
That's pretty
I haven't
cool.
had a roomie in years.
Well, this is such a great network, and we are
It
so
is.
blessed to have Stan and Teresa. And now that we get to be visual now, it's amazing.
It is. I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah.
I want to know. I want to know about you, Mercedes. Tell me. Tell me about. I mean, your show is really cool. I've watched your show
Oh, thank
a
you.
number of times. I really enjoy it.
Thank you.
Um, there you are. Um, so you you're actually pretty amazing. You do a number of different things, don't you?
I do. I am I'm juggling a lot of things. But you know what? I'm very blessed to have all of a sudden it's like that time in your life or sometimes in your life when everything kind of comes full circle. I feel like
Yeah,
that's where I'm at now. I finally, I finally feel I've come full
finally.
circle. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting that you say that because my family and I were talking about that as well. And that's the way I'm feeling as well. It's
Wow.
like, why did it wait to happen so late? It just
Mm.
it I'm an old fart now. Why is it happening now? It could have used this like years ago.
And
But
well, you know what?
I'm just glad it's happening.
Yeah, everything is supposed to happen in its own timing. I remember one time, and I used to feel that way too. Like I want everything to happen, everything to happen, everything to happen fast.
Hmm.
But then, when you almost die a couple of times, like literally, it changes everything. And so now I'm more of like I live in the moment, and I don't worry about it anymore like I used to do, which is much more freeing. But I do believe that there was a
Yeah.
time in my when I had my charts read. This was during a very horrendous time in my life, and I had my charts read, and the chart said right there, "Oh well, this is." I was shocked too, but this is like part of it. But wait, in that like 15 years from now, and I was like thinking, "Wow, 15 years from now." I mean, that seems so forever, right? But
Are you there?
literally, oh, can you hear me? Uh-oh. Hi. Uh-oh. Can you hear me? Hmm.
Looks like we're having a little bit of difficulty here. It's funny because usually it's on my end.
Okay. All right. I'm heading out. Can you hear me?
Mercedes, are you there? All I heard was a rooster calling. Hang on, guys. Mercedes is in Arizona. So let's see what's going on here.
Hear me?
There you are.
I had to come outside. Obviously, I just came outside because I might be having trouble in the cabin where I'm normally sitting. So I'm just gonna try it out here and be outside. So hello
Well, it was
everyone.
funny.
I'm
It was
outside.
funny because yes, you are, and it was funny because you when you were coming back on, I couldn't really see a whole lot, but I just heard your roosters crawling
Uh,
away in the background.
there could be on the show. Hi, Rooster Cogburn. His name's Rooster Cogburn for John Wayne.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so like in my element, but out of my element now because I'm
Oh,
outside of my studio. So
it's
anyway, I don't remember
beautiful.
what I was talking about, but oh
Well,
yeah, I
we were
remember.
just getting started.
Yeah, it was about so like the charts of astrology charts, and I just thought that was so interesting. But it truly did work out that way, where later in my life everything was kind of come together, that had been strings of many different lives. So like I had a whole lifetime as an actress and a singer. I had a whole like
Oh,
the
wow.
15 years as a just a basically a musician and a singer songwriter in bands. And so it's like I've had all these different lives, and then I've had the lifetime with the doctor I worked for after I had my I spent, that's my healing work. So I became many different things. And now it's actually a year ago this month that I saw it on my Facebook that the doctor that I worked for all those years retired. And so I
Oh,
set out on this past year to start kind of like a new life. And then, the show is part of that. And the documentary I'm doing is part of that. And the healing process on this land is part of that. And my music is part of that. So I have a very interesting, it's like all coming together. Now I over talk a lot, so you have to step in. I'll talk too much.
no, you're great. Are you kidding? I'm fascinated. I really am. Um, okay, so you started out as a musician and an actress.
I did.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. I for ever since I was a kid, I loved singing, and my mom was in the choir. I guess my grandfather, he was like the head of the choir at the church. So he was the choir master and the whole director. So I think it's in my family. It runs in my family. And so I just loved it, and I became a pretty much professional in my 20s, and that was just great. I loved that, and I got to be I did like I was a Marilyn Monroe impersonator, different things.
Oh,
I
how cool.
started into acting. Yeah, so I had this whole life, and then I won, like, I think we've won 7 ASCAP songwriting awards for ASCAP, which is a publishing and all that. So it's really great. And but then so then later that led
So then
to
later that
acting
led to acting.
and going into California, where I dived into acting and um, theater. So I love theater, love it, and musical theater. But it was when we got to Arizona or back in Dallas. So I've had many places, but I've always kind of spent a lot of time doing that. But it wasn't until we got into Arizona that I started really focusing on the music. And the neat thing, so that was like going and working on and doing touring, doing all of the
Hmm.
musical venues, like the big ones. I like to do the big ones where people listen. I don't like going to bars very much
Yes.
where people don't listen. So I, I just don't like that.
No, they don't.
I don't want to. So we did
Yeah.
the festivals, the fairs, the festivals, and Air Force shows, Air Force bases, and things like that. So a lot of times if you're seeing me on Facebook, I will share the music now that I used to perform and write. So most of it was always my music, but then I'd throw in covers. So you'll hear uh I'm reproducing the music now to where it has a visual, like a video. So I'm doing video production. So, it's been fun. Like the last year I've really been focusing on the video production and the music production and the show.
Mhm.
But also, that really happened because during the pandemic, when I my job was just taken away from me, and some people say, "Well, why was your job taken away?" Well, I'm a therapist. I work with the body, and I worked with the feet, the teeth. I worked with the skull and the in the mouth. I work on the whole body, and that happened
Mhm.
later after at a certain point I've done that for 15, 16, 17 years. But then, so when the pandemic hit, I lost my job because of that. But it wasn't gone forever. It just
Oh.
had to be put on hold. Our
Mhm.
office was closed, and our office continued to be closed for over a year. And so it was during this time that we were going through, really some bad stuff here, and that's when we had the exorcisms on the property and different things like that. So I'm still on the property. I don't know if you know about all that. Through We had a lot of trouble here, and yeah. So I may run out of light too. The light could be leaving me. But anyway, so yeah, it's a whole big mix of things that have happened here, Debbie. And so I now learned how to do my own video production because I wasn't
Cool.
going into the doctor all the time, to work. And so I
Oh,
figured
right. Right.
I figured if I'm going to do anything, I'm going to have to do it myself. And so that's what I did. I just studied and studied, and I trained myself. And then that's what I do. So now I work, I am creating, almost finished, this documentary about the research that I've done for, well, I guess it's about 8 years now here on the property.
Oh,
And so,
wow.
yeah, so that's actually what I am, doing pretty much right now, nonstop, is working on the creating the documentary, getting all the evidence, getting all the witnesses, getting all every piece of information that I had on the on the documentary, and for it. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now. And so yeah, so it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff.
It is a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Now, what is the documentary? What are you documenting?
My family was all of us were here on this land, and Joe and
Mhm.
I were here first, married here, and I was just so hard. Okay, so okay, all right, let's just start from the beginning. Okay, so I'm on
Okay.
haunted property. We live in Arizona. We were on the dead files. It took years and years to deal with all the things that are here, including let's see. Once I started. So I work people, I work with spirit. So I see spirits. I communicate with spirit. I clear houses and I clear everything I do. And
Mhm.
all of that happened after a car accident, a near death
Oh.
car accident of them back to back.
Oh.
Yeah, and didn't die. I was given changed, and I was given the ability to be able to see the body hurts. And that happened about, I don't even know when it happened. It was like 2010 is when that happened.
Mhm.
So
Wow.
yeah. So anyway, it wasn't until I came to this property that really bad things And land is it's just very haunted and I mean, it got really bad. So we ended up having to call, at the very end, called Bill Bean, Reverend Bill Bean, in. And the gentleman from Dead Air, George Lopez, I saw the other
Mm-hmm.
night, he's actually a part of it. Because I
Interesting.
went to the people and story the one of them
If you can hear me,
um,
Mercedes, you're going back out again.
mm,
There
okay,
you
I
are.
hear you.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't
we
know
had
what's going
George on
on.
the show last week.
Yeah, so George, they're a part of the documentary. So it's I haven't really talked too much about it because I'm waiting for it to be all finished. So I'm not going to say too
Okay.
much more. I'm almost
Absolutely.
completed with it, and but it's really good for me. Makes me feel good to be able to share the story, and so I'm excited to be able to share the story. I'm kind of walking around because I don't know if I'm going to lose any light. It's going to get dark fast. Oh, my goats, you
Well, it's
guys
absolutely
are on.
beautiful there.
The goats are like, hey, we're on TV.
Everybody wants to be on.
Woohoo! Yay! Yeah. So I mean, there's just a
It's a
lot. There's a lot.
party.
Yay! And so how I decided, I was on I was on Bill Bean's show, and then I got to be friends with Dave Baker, who had Kev Baker show. And Kev was really
Hmm.
sweet to me and very helpful. My hair looks crazy. Okay. Anyway, and he was like, Mercedes, you need to get back on to the music. Or I know I'm like outside. You need to get on, do your shows again. So he inspired me to kind of get back into where I was doing media work again, like in public, because I'd been working for the doctor, right? I hadn't really been doing any media. And so that's how I kind of got started back into a show. My first one was Unveiling Mystery. And that was just so great. And that's where I kind of met Stan. I met Stan, and
Oh, okay.
yeah, and so like it's been a little over a year now that I've been with the Webb Radio Network. And so I wanted to do more than just mystery, because that's, the whole thing to me is like unraveling mysteries and finding the
Right.
truth and what's happening in the mysteries, just like on this land. Like there's a lot going on, but it's a big mystery, and we have to like I have to figure that out. And so but I wanted to bring on all these different types of people. I wanted to bring on musicians and healers and stuff. So I ended up
Hmm.
calling it my name to make it easy. So that way, if you look me up, you'll
Yeah.
see everything I do. You'll just find me.
That's a great idea. That's actually a great idea. Yeah. Um, I mean, I found it to be very interesting. Um,
Yeah.
I log in and I log out. I just go in, and then of course somebody around here needs something, so I'm like, oh, okay, I'll come back to it. But these shows are only like an hour long. By the time I even get
Right.
back to it,
Right.
it's like, oh
Yeah. So
God, God.
I like to catch everyone's show to them as much as I can, because they're on Facebook and YouTube now. So it's kind of
Yes,
fun to catch our web radio network shows, and everybody, be sure to check everybody's show out. It's really awesome, to be a part of this.
it's a great
Yeah.
diversity of shows on here. It really is.
Yeah, it
And
really is.
everybody's show is interesting in its own little section, and you know it's a
Yeah.
cool diversity that they have.
Yeah.
um uh,
And
but
my
how
show
big
I
is your
try.
farm?
Huh?
Hmm?
What?
Go ahead, your show what now?
I said on my show, I just try to really kind of handpick everybody because I just want to get a positive message out, and I want to
Right.
share people that have helped me or I know that are helping the world. I really like that. It's not so much, it doesn't have to be the world, but people that are trying to be a help in this world to others. That, I mean, that's what I like to bring out. Not, I mean, I try to do the paranormal, but there's a lot of wonderful paranormal people that are doing wonderful things to help others and are
Yeah.
inspiring. So that's what I like to bring to the show. You know, the other day I think we had an incredible guest. My last guest was Jason McLeod, who is incredible. God, I just thought that was an incredible show that he came on for me on that show, and it was just awesome. So I send out, if he's watching, hey Jason. So whoever's watching tonight, I'm very thankful for you, and you get to see me outside of my actual set, which is very weird.
Which is very beautiful, actually.
Yeah,
It's
it is
quite
actually.
beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful, but I'm just used to being on my set.
I know what you mean.
Yeah,
It's like sleeping in your own bed. Ain't nothing like sleeping in
exactly.
your own bed.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't know if anybody's leaving any messages or not. I can't see on my phone. I have my phone.
Um, yeah, we've had a couple of things. One of the ones that's was being asked to you was that did you do you think that you should have stayed in the music business, or are you glad that you expanded out? But I think that you probably already explained that you're very quite happy that you expanded out.
Well, it was almost forced for me to do it because at that time I'd gone through a divorce, and I did my best. I started in kind of a new life to where, where you're trying to take care of my son, and then taking care of him both different ways. But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
realized then, like, I mean, there's no way I can't just be a I can't just be a performer. I mean, I can do acting. When you do an acting job or whatever, it's months before you get paid sometimes. So I had to really think about it, and I had to make a choice, and I decided to become a licensed massage therapist. And so I continued to sing. I continued to perform. I went solo. I just took my guitar and I did the shows by myself because I could do that. I had bands before, but I can sing. I like to just go play my guitar and our piano out live and do public work that way too. So I continued to do it until the accidents. When the accidents really happened, I had a show. I had a radio show on Jolt Radio here in town, so I was still trying to do it. I had the show. I had a BBS live radio show on, but there
Mhm.
came a point in my life, like, I had to. What the heck? Okay.
There you
Okay.
are. Yeah, I can
Trouble
see you.
connect.
Oop.
Okay, good. Ooh. So, ooh, yeah, so I made a choice. I made a choice to let it go and to let the music go, and so I could take care of my son and have a real, like, responsible life, where I work for a doctor and all that. So I did, and I actually love what happened. It was just God. It was like I couldn't walk. So when the accident happened, it wasn't just an accident. It was like I couldn't move. I couldn't walk. I I
Jeez.
I was literally run into from behind, sitting at a light, and I that just destroyed my life. I lost my home. I lost. I couldn't work. I couldn't finish school. I had 1 week of school left or something like that. I'd almost finished school,
Oh
so I
my
couldn't.
God.
So it was a bad time. But God was there the whole time, and the doctor that I ended up working for was the doctor that ended up saving my life, and he helps heal me. And it was through his mentorship that I was able to take the gifts that I had been given after this accident, two of them back to back within 4 months. The other one was a rollover in San Simone. So it was like I was
Oh
supposed to be
no.
dead. I was there. I was like trying, it was like I was going to be dead. I was like, I mean, what's the chances of that, right? So I knew,
Pretty rare, yeah.
yeah, I knew then, I knew that there was something changing my life. And so God stepped in and I started working for this amazing doctor. And he's not just a, wasn't just a doctor, he was like a world renowned doctor, world famous doctor that helped people from all over the world. And I ended up becoming mysteriously his therapist. I mean, what's the chances of that, huh? I
Yeah,
know, it's so weird. Like I still like thinking people would always say, Mercedes, how did you get this job? But it ended up he helped heal me, and because he healed me, I was like, what are you doing? What did you do? And I began to help others. And so I that's what I did. And I still kept writing, I still kept performing. But it wasn't until, so it was just meant to be. But it was when the pandemic hit and stopped it, stopped the work, that all of a sudden I just started writing again. I started We do our own music production. I'm trying to get on the camera. I can't figure out where I'm at. So we have a music production, video production here. Uh, we created that. I created that. I'm working on a
wow.
501c3 right now. It's already time. It should be, where I'll be helping, um, the history and the animals and things with video production. So that, it was almost like God said, "Okay, you guys made it out of the evil 8 years that you'd been here, with the
Right?
demons and all that kind of stuff that were here, and we didn't leave, and I didn't die, and so I was given a new chance." So that's what I'm doing. I'm following it.
You're doing great. You're
Thank
doing
you.
absolutely fabulous. Um, you, I've seen a lot of clips of the therapy that you do,
Yeah,
and it's looks amazing.
thank
It
you.
really
It's
just
very
looks
different.
amazing.
It's remote view healing mixed with, so it depends on the session. But like, I'm a trained therapist. I have a license. I work for a doctor right now, part time. I have a clinic I work at, but I do this the remote view stuff. I got on my nose. Sorry. The remote view stuff happened after the accidents. So I was able to start seeing things, and some of the things I see, it's in the body. So I work with the body, but then it's expanded out, and now I work with all kinds of clients from all over the place. Yay!
That's amazing.
It
Yeah,
is.
and it's nice because it's somebody like you that can see what's going on that a lot of doctors can miss.
Oh
But
yeah.
because you have the ability, yeah,
Well, and it's not. And you know what? It's like they they don't realize, like, a lot of doctors or a lot of medical practices. If you have an injured shoulder, for instance, they're very quick to say surgery. Surgery. I mean,
yeah,
it happens all the time with people. But like, I can see in there, and I'm like, okay, well, no, it's like when you punch. It's almost like punching little buttons. It's like, there's different things I call it, but we can go in and you can unwind the fascia strain patterns, and you can unwind and remove that energy stuff that's stuck, that you could have had apart from different, lifetimes, that have where you've had an injured shoulder in the past. Like, and I'm probably talking a lot, and people are thinking I'm crazy already,
no,
um
no, not at all.
but that's what happens. Like, there's images that come in, and so then that's what you're start people are actually starting to see what I do, because I'm, for the first time ever, letting it out. I'm showing the pictures I draw, but I kept everything
Mhm.
kind of, I showed it a little bit, and I had a site, but I didn't speak about it out in public. But since I'm no longer affiliated with my doctor that I worked for, or that I have free choice to do what I wish now, and that is to share what I do. So yeah, it's really kind of interesting. And now I'm really
Kind
excited
of,
because
yeah.
well, now it's like it's kind of taking off. So every week I have a whole bunch of clients that I'm working with, and that just makes me feel very good. It makes me feel happy that I get to do something that is something I've been given a gift to do. So it makes me feel very happy to do that work. Yep.
And since this is remote, you can get calls in from
Yeah.
anywhere,
Yeah. I've worked with
anywhere.
people from all over the country, and I worked from like in Japan, just different
Oh,
places. Yeah, I don't have to, I just go there. I don't have to go anywhere. I can just do it right here. And it's just traveling.
wow.
It's traveling in your, to where it is. And you know what, it doesn't, it sounds like, oh, that, but it was a hard road to get to where I could actually do that. It took years for me to be able to leave the office, because I could always do things at work really good, but I when I was asked, can I just do this outside of the office or outside of my workspace, I was in my sacred space, right? So
Hmm.
it took me several, well, at least 3 years to where I felt like I was actually confident enough to be able to work on people. And my outside where like I don't have to have them physically with me. Before I just thought I'd have to have people with me. It wasn't my understanding that even though I could travel in my mind or in my physical being wherever, I just felt like the people had to be in my presence. But that wasn't
And they
the
don't.
case. It took a while to train myself, but it did work. And that's similar to what happened with Bill Bean. It was very interesting. Do you know who Bill Bean is by
Vaguely,
chance?
yes.
Yeah, so he was the person that, God brought us to help us out here. And he is a deliverance minister. And so when the time came when I did finally reach out to somebody for an exorcism, and he was the one that was brought to us through spirit, I thought this will never work because he would have to do it remotely. He Because it was during the pandemic, and I put it off for several months until it got just so bad. And I'm talking about like really bad. I mean, like I was very sick. You're seeing a really
Oh, wow.
happy person here, but I was becoming very sick. And in fact, I felt like just dying. Actually, I was just at my, after the Dead Files the year before, I was sick then. If you haven't seen it, we were on the
Wow.
Dead Files, and the Dead Files was, we were the season finale on the Dead Files in 2020 is when our show came out, and we were the season finale. It was called Damned in the Desert, and that's what they saw here was us damned in the desert.
Oh, man.
And at that time it was pretty hopeless, and because of the pandemic
Um,
we couldn't
and
move.
the pandemic, we couldn't move.
We couldn't move. We tried to put our house for sale, and then the pandemic happened. So let's go, then another year goes by, right? And that's, or the end of the year, and I was very, 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 very sick. So if you do watch the show Damned in the Desert, you will see a very sick person. I was very ill at that time. So I, I look at myself and I'm like, oh my God, I did not feel good. So I always try to let people know that. But it was
Wow.
the following year, and I ended up having an operation that next month, and I was it's just too bad. It's just too much of a mess to talk about. But it ended up that Bill Bean came into my knowing around 2019. No, 2019, 2020, at the end around November. I had found out about him. And it took about, I think, took like 3 months before 3 months. So that's a long time before I said, yeah, let's go ahead and try the remote work you do. Even though I do remote work,
Yeah.
I didn't see how in the world is he going to do anything remotely, but he did. I swear to God, I like Joe and I, we were shocked. Like when it all was going down, then I was filming some of it throughout the times. I filmed some of everything that happened, but it was his remote work that changed our lives and saved my marriage too.
Wow.
And I'm saying that God, I think God, is what was coming through. But Bill
Hmm.
was one of the people. So Bill Bean Ministries, um, he's amazing. He's a good friend of mine now. He actually was a musician, and he ended up becoming part of I think two or three of my newest songs that I did last year, because that was one thing that happened. I felt like my music was always stopped. I couldn't finish what I had started, and so now it's like I've got like several songs out. I'm creating an album. There's Eli, my Eli puppy. You want to see him?
What?
Eli.
Oh my goodness!
Eli, you're here with mommy. He's like, I broke out. I broke out of the jail. Hi,
I'm
Eli. I broke out of the house jail. He's a jailhouse, little Eli. But yeah, so it's this place here. Oh my gosh, I'm going to show this sunset. Hold on. Can you
Oh
see
yeah.
that?
Oh my gosh, that is gorgeous.
Beautiful. That's our
Oh,
sky. That's our
that's
earth, the sky.
beautiful.
Yeah, so but since then, since he did that, then we had two more. So it took about 6 months of several other ones that happened. But when it was all done, when the last one happened, it was like Joe and I's life just like was really changed. And I can't explain how the freedom of that felt, just to have
Wow.
and we work hard here. So we work hard. We do daily prayers. We do constant vigil for the property. We have two gates, big gates that you have to go through to get into the property. And the first one, you always have to stop and do prayers before you enter this property. And then the house itself, if you come into any of the houses, so you'd stand right there, say for instance at the doorway,
Uh
and you
huh.
do the Lord's Prayer. So that's
Oh,
mandatory till from today. That has not stopped for like 4 years now, or 3 years. So we have set customs that keep that stuff away from us. I
right,
will say
right.
though that we did allow one extra team other than the Dead Files to come in, and that was you may know her from the Webb Radio, and that's Becky McKitty Guidison. So she has the
Hmm.
show Everything Under the Moon, and
Right.
that's on Webb Radio. And so that's how I ended up meeting Stan. Was I was on Becky's show. Well, Becky was our is and has been our only paranormal team I've allowed out here because I trust her, and I've been right.
Hmm.
She's captured evidence every single time. Every single time she has just been such a blessing to me and Joe and our family, to be able to know and see these spirits. But when you don't have like the actual concrete evidence, I mean, it's people
Yeah.
can just say, right? So no, we've got voices, we've got everything that she's got, knock in the hair, not whatever, the knocks. She catches the
Hmm.
voices. The whole team catches stuff every single time. So we started kind of becoming a
Uh oh. You
because
froze up. There we go.
she's been bringing
There
her
you
team.
are.
Yeah, there I am. It's getting dark. She's been bringing her team out for the last, I think, every single month for the last 4 months, at least once a month. So, it's just been an interesting journey, that's for sure. Phew. But
Well, when is it going to be that your documentary is going to be coming out? You think? How long you think it'll take?
I am down to the last parts of editing right
Ooh,
now. And I'm so
ooh.
excited. I finally am getting it done because I'm the only one really doing it. I've got a couple of people helping me, but I'm doing the main stuff. So then once I get that all done, then I've just actually let God's kind of spirit help me figure things out. So this was my main thing, was to figure that out, just to get this done. And then I'm going to let spirit just kind of guide me, but it looks like we'll be putting it on DVD. I found something out that I can actually do that. I'm going to get some light. I think I'm losing light. So I found that I can put it on the DVD, which I will. And then,
What a beautiful background.
yeah. And then trying to put it on Amazon. Amazon Prime is another one, and then Tubi and different things like that. And then I want to see what happens from there. Let's see if I can get some more light. There we go. There's some light. Ah,
Yeah,
okay, I have light.
that's beautiful. That is beautiful.
Thank you. This is a weird show tonight for me.
Of
So
course.
if you're seeing me tonight, it's kind of like this is totally off the hook, different.
Cool.
Do you have any other questions? I talk too much.
Oh, are you kidding? It's been fascinating. Um, well, I would definitely be interested in picking up the documentary. I would definitely like to see that.
Thank you.
So
It
whenever it
does.
comes out, you let me know so I can pick it up. That's like George. After I spoke to George, I couldn't wait. I got on Books a Million and I ordered In a Flicker from George.
Oh,
It's supposed to be in any day.
oh,
So,
good.
and I went
I'll,
all out.
oh, what do you mean?
Yeah, I got the hard copy.
Oh, wow. I
Yeah,
ordered so many
I
books
so
this last week. Yeah, there's so many people with books out now. It's like, oh, gotta order all of them. I'll
yeah,
have to order his book too.
I have
That's
to order them all. So,
yeah, well, it's good. We need to
absolutely.
support everybody. But yeah, so
That's right.
the documentary is it's just like a, I don't know, it's kind of a mission. It's a mission for me to do, and that's just what I've been doing, just doing this mission of this, working on this for a long time. If I didn't die, I get to
Well,
work on it. So
I mean, and it seems like it's been a healing process for you.
I
Very
think so.
in-depth healing process.
I think I think doing this is very it's kind of been sad too, though. I mean, like, it's healing, but having to, go through a lot of it
Yeah.
and relive it and re-see it is
Yeah.
difficult,
Oh,
because
yes.
it's like I have to sit there and listen to the stories of what happened to us over and over and over,
And
um
over.
and um
Um,
and edit them. But I'm at that space now where I'm the observer more. I'm the observer of what I'm doing. So it's like becoming, I think I'm losing my light again. I'm so sorry. I don't, I need to
no,
get
I
a
can
better
see
view.
you good.
Yeah. Now I got the outside light.
Oh, yeah.
It's dark.
It, it's
But
been
yeah.
so beautiful talking to you and watching the sunset. And
Yeah.
because when you first started, the sun was nice and bright, and now it's going down. It
Yeah.
was totally cool. It was
Yeah.
totally cool.
It's really, it's really, I love this place. I mean, I think, and I say this in the documentary too, like there's a part of it, like when I first drove here, when I first came here,
Hmm.
very first time, it was almost like I've been here. I love this place. I wasn't even
Oh,
at the actual property yet, and it felt like I was home or something. Like I can't explain it. And so it was always my dream to live back on a ranch. My grandpa had a ranch in Arkansas. And so this was my dream, to have horses and a ranch, and I'll be damned if I was going to let anybody try to take that away from me. like to
Exactly.
destroy my marriage or destroy our life to get me to leave the property. Like, so it's been
Hmm.
like a war. We've been in a battle. But I've written a lot of great songs about it.
Well, and there you are with that. And
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about because I as well went through a really bad divorce and had to leave beautiful home in Miami, and I moved up to North Florida, and I had a 20 horse ranch down there. I had a
Oh,
beautiful yeah, I had a riding school. I loved it. I just loved it. Yeah. And I had to give it all up due to the divorce. And
right.
it broke my heart. I mean, not just losing, of course, the horses and the ranch, but everything else.
Yeah.
Um, it's not easy to let go of somebody,
No.
that you had your world centered around, but
Right.
had no choice. And so I had to relocate up here where I am on 5 acres. And I turned it into a family compound. So now it's me and both of my boys live here too. And it's coming together. But I wasn't aware of it also when I moved out here that it was haunted. I didn't know. Well, when I got here, I knew. And it's like I tell everybody, I really knew that the gig was going down with the neighbor next door. Oddball anyway. But the neighbor next door came up to me and he goes, "They didn't tell you about that, what happened out here, did they?" And I was like, "Oh God, nope, but I bet you're going to tell me." Yep. And Mercedes, you always know something's not going to be good when the thing starts off. It was a dark and stormy 4th of July. And I'm like, oh God, this is not going to end well. Sure enough, long story short, guy got killed out here. And in a not so good way either. But the people who lived here before me could never keep animals. Animals were dying left and right, and blah 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 blah.
No, I mean
Is
it's
the
the
guy
blah blah
gone?
blah truth. The blah 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 is the story, and there's a lot of pain
Yeah.
in there.
Oh, oh, yeah.
The heck?
And so I've been, yeah, I've been going through it. But like you, at the end of it all, by God, this is my property. This belongs to my family. It was a new beginning, and I'm not going down without a fight. And we are going to make this work. And it's still a work in progress, but we're still here. And
Yeah,
now, at the end, all this is happening. So I think we're on the right track. You are definitely on the right track.
yeah,
So,
yeah. You can make it through because the land is, well, as you know, that they people die and they don't actually leave sometimes, and they keep
oh,
reliving
yeah.
their actions over and over, or they just jump into you and cause trouble that way. There's so many different varieties
Yes.
that spirits. Well, now we have plenty of wonderful spirits. They still, they're still here, but they're nice. They're not. I mean, there's it's the
Right.
spirit. Not it's not the what was here before. And I'm fine
Hmm.
with them staying if they want to be nice. They're allowed.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
It's like this is a place of comfort. This is a place of love. You want to fit right in? You're welcome to. But it's a
yeah,
place of comfort and love.
yeah.
So, but how many acres have you got out there?
We actually have 5, but we don't
Okay.
have anyone really around us. So
Hmm.
it looks really like massive because of that. And then on the other side over there is like government land or whatever. So on
Okay.
one side of the property is all no one will ever be there. And so it's like we're in a really good spot because there's nobody on that side
Yeah.
ever. So we're
It's
way
great.
Yeah, and we're way down, a long dirt road, and that's the way I like it. I mean, I wish I didn't have to go down the long dirt road all the time, but then if I think about, would I rather be in the city and in an apartment or a housing complex where they're like right next to each
No,
other? I couldn't do it. I can't do it anymore. I don't want to. So yeah,
I don't
fight.
think I could do it either. Yeah.
But I know people have to, but I mean, and I had to, well, I always tried to live in the country if I could, the best as any type of country I could. But yeah, this place I love. I do love it here. I definitely
And
do.
it fits well with you too. I mean, you just you look like you were just part of this place. For me talking to you and the sun coming down and the way that you fit in there, I mean, this is you. This is, I mean, you're so much of a part of it. And I can tell that by just looking at you and the ambiance that's around you on that property. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm so
Yeah.
glad it didn't work out in your studio tonight. Man, this was this was great.
Was an adventure.
I like it.
I'll just do this all the time. Just live on the spot.
I think you
And
should.
all
What you should
the animals are
you,
so we did have horses, and both of my horses I had forever, and then they passed away in 2nd of December. So it's still hard.
oh,
I just say hi to them every
mhm,
day and tell them I love them. There's the three of them, and they're all in spirit now. So I just always feel like they're right out in my front yard out there, or
yeah.
I would have shown them to you if they were here in the physical. But
I
they're not.
still
They're in the
hear
spirit.
mine have passed as well. I brought 4 of them up from my ranch, um, and they're in spirit now as well. But I still hear them galloping in the pastures, or
Yeah.
I'll hear them around the house. Where they make their little snores as they're grazing
Oh
in the
yeah.
grass at night.
Yeah.
I still I still can I still can hear them out there snuffling around like they've always done, and it just
Oh yeah.
kinda gives me a sense of peace. It's like, "Thank you for still being here."
Yeah.
So,
What
oh,
area?
Steve,
In? What area are you in?
I I'm in a place called Mariana, and
Georgia?
it's kinda
Is it in Georgia?
very close to Georgia. No, that's Marietta. I'm in
Oh,
Mariana. Very good, very similar. But,
okay.
I'm kinda like it's kinda like the tri-state area of Alabama, Georgia, and Florida.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, if I
Yeah.
wanted to, which I have thought about doing, I can have, um, breakfast in Georgia, go and have lunch in Alabama, and come back home in Florida for dinner, and I'm gonna do that one day.
That sounds like
It'll
a
just feel
great.
good.
That would be so fun just to do that and go
I
one
know.
state hopping. You're state
State hopping,
hopping.
just
Though,
because we're so close to all 3.
and then you have
Yeah, I told my
alligators there. Crocodiles or alligators, right? In your
yeah,
area? Yeah, I'd have. You feel
yeah.
like if I had them, I'd be like, "Come on, little alligator." I'd
They're
make.
not little Mercedes. They're
There was
big.
there was one man who was that really. I can't remember his name. I saw he. I think he's on Web Radio Network too, and he has a pet alligator. Did you see that picture? One of our group. I can't remember his name right now.
Jeremy?
Yeah,
Jeremy?
he has a
Yes.
pet.
It's I told him, I said, it's a swamp puppy.
That is so cute. I was like, oh, I'm sure they can be nice. Sometimes I'm sure if he has one,
They-
you know, that
They're
it's got to
so
be.
instinctual.
Yeah, Eli, my Eli's out here.
Eli's still there?
There's my Annie. Can you hear me? I'm so out of my
Yeah.
place. Okay, yeah. Hi, girls. Hi, everybody. Hi, puppies. Well, this has
Stephanie
been
said that
fun.
Yeah, Stephanie says that she loved the show, was a great show, and you are so interesting. Can't wait to hear about your future endeavors.
Oh, that's so
So
awesome.
you captured so many people's, and everybody's like, so what else is going to happen? Come on.
I know. Where can we go now? It's getting dark, and we can. Luckily, I would
I know.
normally. I will
Oh,
tell you that I wouldn't before. You wouldn't catch me outside here. I I couldn't be out at night here. And it
really?
took me forever.
Oh,
Yeah,
because
it's
of
too
the
scary. Yeah, I mean, it was like I just, oh my god. So right now, me being out here, it's so great to just be comfortable and know that we're safe and all that. But I will say that
absolutely.
the neat thing about what's happening is I'm believing that with the documentary and different things that I'm thinking about for the future, that I'll probably start to travel just a little bit and try to do some paracons. We did the Tucson
Hmm.
Paracon with last year's the very first Paracon here, and Becky but Kitty Guidison put that on with Tucson Ghost Society. So I was a part of that, and it was so fun and very interesting to be a part of it. So I look forward to like sharing the documentary and maybe going to those for my future. I think that I like you paranormal people. I
Yeah, we
wasn't
grow
really
on
a
you.
paranormal. Yeah, people now they're calling it they go her paranormal life, and I'm like, wow, that's weird, But yeah, so it's actually there's so many nice paranormal people. They're really very friendly and kind in the paranormal world, and even including the Dead
Yeah.
Files. The first jump into the Dead Files, becoming into that world, they were very nice. I will tell you that they treated us with such respect and kindness, and they went above and beyond to help us, because the very first try, they call it the reveal, or the
Hmm.
show where she does the walk,
Hmm.
it was canceled due to a flood, and Joe had to end up helping coming back and pull them all out of the flooded water. We were in a flood. We got a
Whoa.
flood hit. It was like they were trying to stop him. That's what Amy said. They were trying to
Yeah.
stop the show.
Yeah.
So they flooded it out, and Joe had to come help and pull him out. And it was almost like the show that was they were going to have to go. They had one show left to film, and instead they opted to help us, and they stayed another week,
Wow.
and they ended up
Wow.
and I ended up changing. I had a whole lineup of people. Well, I had that lineup, I mean, but I had a whole list of the original people that had helped me witness stuff, and it ended up that none of them really were a part of it. It was my family, was because they couldn't get out here because we were flooded in,
Wow.
so that when they could finally come back out, and all their trucks and stuff were stuck here on this property. We had that, and they were all demolished. They were all ruined. They were all what's it called, totaled. So that wasn't in
Oh
the show.
man.
That wasn't in the actual show at all. So that's what happened. But it
Whoa.
was because of them being so nice and kind. Maybe it's because Joe helped get them out of the water. I don't know. But they decided to stay and help us and not put it off to the next season. Had they not, it would have been pandemic, and they wouldn't have been able to come to the house, period.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
so we were the last ones to be filmed, pretty much, except one other family before pandemic. So then the whole place, they shut their film studio down. Everybody was shut down.
Wow.
But had they not taken that extra bit to help us, to help me and help my family,
Things
then
might have changed.
yeah, it would have been completely different, because they could have said, oh, hey, we had our week, we got rained out, but they didn't, and it was because of them. So
Wow.
I'll always say gratitude and give thanks to them for that, because they helped change my whole life. They saved my they uncovered stuff that I could have never found. I was never I couldn't you couldn't go into police records. I mean, I did as much research as I could, but I couldn't get into Air
Yeah.
Force. I couldn't get into those documents like he could.
Sure.
Steve could, because he was the police detective. So without them, we wouldn't have known about the murders here. We
That's
wouldn't have
amazing.
known. Yeah, the plane that exploded above our head here back in the 80s. Um, Anybody who's listening to me and knows that show too knows about that. I will tell you though that my husband did. We decided to build a monument for the Pony 1, 2, Pony 12, the 15 servicemen that lost their lives here in the 80s. And
Oh,
so we have a monument here. Joe made it, you know. He's a metal fabricator and he's an amazing artist. So we have that on our property. We did not take it to the place where we know it is. We just have it on our property as a monument and memorial for those people that died.
oh.
I'm just saying that I know we got like 3 minutes left.
We
I don't know.
do, and I know the going ahead and let it out is that Mercedes show is on right after my show,
Oh,
so I get to go to sleep, and she's got to sit up for a while longer.
yeah, you know what? I still think I have an hour because I think I go on at 8 now. I could be 7. I don't
Or
know.
do you?
I am literally like I I feel like crazy because this literally I'm not a person that worked with media before. This has been the weirdest 2 years, a weirdest year to actually be sitting still and like just editing. Oh my god. But so yeah, I feel
Totally
like
cool though.
time flies so fast when you're doing this. Like
Yes,
I
it does.
started at 8
Yes,
in the
it does.
morning today and I'm like, it was already 12. It was like a blink of the eye and I had to go to work. Oh,
Well, before before you leave, I got a great idea for you. I
okay.
think about once a month with your beautiful background and your beautiful ranch and the way the sun comes down, you ought to do something like Mercedes campfire stories and have it outside with a camp. Oh, girl,
I,
that'd be going on.
I always wanted to do the sing along. So have the like I love John Denver songs. So sing along and
Yeah,
have fires out here and stuff. But you know what? Maybe that is a good idea. Maybe that is something we could think about now that things are better. I like that idea.
I, yeah. I mean, thank you. I loved it. I loved it. I really did. It was wonderful.
Thank you. And you know,
Mercedes, thank you so
thank
much for being what a joy you are. You truly
thank
are.
you. And I wanted to tell people also if they want to check out the do listen to my music, you can literally go onto Amazon, iTunes, and all those music platforms and put in my name. And there's
Okay.
songs you can purchase, or you can if you're on Spotify, if you already have a membership, you just can listen to them. I got a bunch of new people listening just by doing that now, and so if you know the Kev Baker show, then I have a tribute song to Kev Baker. You can hear my dogs. You hear them?
Yes, I do.
There's coyotes. They're all like coyotes. What? But anyway, so you can find my music. Shut up. You can Eli. You can find my music online for sure if you want to listen to it. And there's a song I wrote about this property called so far. It's called Ghosts in the Dark. And
Oh,
that's a song that I think you can listen to that one online too. But anyway, so there's all kinds of stuff. And I do appreciate you having me on your show. It was
I've
very
loved it.
interesting. And
Mercedes,
Eli's
again,
it
thank you.
too.
From Eli is wonderful.
Eli, you're
I'm happy
wonderful.
for his 2 cents.
Here, let me catch him real quick. Come here, Eli. So everybody, you're big. Oh, come on, hold on. Wait, where are you?
Oh,
Oh, there
there
you
you
are,
are.
Eli.
Oh, his bark is so much bigger than the whole dog.
Well, we have 6 dogs. So we have
Oh, well,
huskies.
there.
We have 5 giant dogs and 1 little dog. Okay, I'll let
And
you
he's
go.
louder than them all.
He's louder than all of
Merce-
them.
Mercedes, thank you so very much. It has been a delight. It truly has. And we'll be talking to you real soon.
Okay,
Thank
have
you
a good
again.
time, everybody.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody. for watching spooky things. She's an absolute delight. Um,
Spooky out
join us.
here.
You're on spooky things. Um, this has been Mercedes Lucky Benedict.
Yeah,
I'll get it out. And be sure to catch her on Amazon Prime, Spotify, and be looking for that documentary. And Mercedes, you keep us in touch and let us know when that comes out because
I
we
will.
definitely want to. And look for her on the Dead Files. She's the finale on the Dead Files on the final show of what season? It was
2020, 2000,
2000.
2000.
Okay, so we're going to be looking for that too. Um, and remember, she is on. Her show is right after Spooky Things.
Web Radio
Remember,
Net.
on the Webb Radio Network. Her and I are roommates on Tuesday nights. Bye,
Yay.
everybody. We'll talk to you soon. Yay! Bye, everybody.